We've got some great carols, Adeste Fidelis, we've got Stille Nacht, and we've got some awesome sing-alongs to get the audience joining the orchestra. We've also got some really cool, I think, surprises and some popular stuff that people will be very excited about. We're starting the concert with a very famous overture, The Merry Wives of Windsor by Otto Nicolai. He's a very interesting composer. He actually founded the Vienna Philharmonic. He got the Vienna Philharmonic out of the orchestra pit. They were playing Beethoven's Fidelio. He got them playing the great symphonies of Beethoven. He essentially developed the modern symphony orchestra, performing at a high level. And this is his German opera, which he actually didn't see be successful, kind of like Bizet with Carmen. Otto Nicolai died, and then The Merry Wives of Windsor, his interpretation of Shakespeare, became incredibly famous and popular, and this overture is an incredible gem, and I think it'll be a great opening to the concert. Prokofiev came to the United States in 1917, eventually made his way over to New York, got together with some of his Jewish friends, won the principal clarinetist of the New York Philharmonic, and around 1919 Prokofiev put this great piece together, which is featuring Jewish folk music that was compiled by the principal clarinetist of the New York Philharmonic. And Prokofiev really does a genius work with it. Both Prokofiev and Shostakovich were known to say Jewish folk music is so prominent and so useful for the orchestra because it has this tragic and happy sense that really goes together. And it wasn't until about 14 years later when he actually was persuaded by friends of his to arrange it for a larger chamber orchestra, which will be performing it. Anatol Liadov was kind of a musicologist, an ethnomusicologist in many ways, in the school of Kodály and even Bartók, whereas he went out into the Russian countryside and collected these really incredible folk music that could be used for the orchestra. He was also a student of Rimsky-Korsakov, and he kind of gets lost in history in many ways. He's loosely known as the composer that Diaghilev offered the commission of the Firebird to. But Liadov has some really incredible settings for this folk music that he found. There's one called the Kolyada, which is the Christmas chant. There's just a lot of great music that is just set almost perfectly, much in the style of Rimsky-Korsakov and Stravinsky. I think people are going to recognize some of these styles and characteristics of melodic use here. So there are many premieres that I would say I would love to have been at. You know, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, probably the Handel Fireworks was not one of them. The rehearsal actually went great about a week before the performance. It had 12,000 people. It was the first recorded historic traffic jam in world history. They used live fireworks in the show, and the fireworks actually hit one of the buildings and totally burned it to the ground while the music was playing. The king requested about 24 oboes. He requested serpents, which is this ancient form of a tuba, and all these other brass instruments, but he specified no violins. So you have this original version that is sometimes actually played with snare drums, but no string instruments, just continuo. So fortunately, Handel got his way after that first performance, which was in many ways catastrophic. He added violins and, of course, violas and cellos to the orchestration, because that's what he wanted in the first place. And if you listen to all of Handel's other music, you know, clearly this guy knew how to write for every single instrument, especially the strings. Handel was incredibly popular. He was a world traveler. He was, you know, fluent in Italian. Obviously, he was born German in Hamburg, but he was in England and France, and he was a true globetrotter. And he always maintained his independence. And I think that's part of the reason why his music, like the Fireworks, like the Messiah, like his operas, are always so exciting and sort of on the cutting edge, even today when you listen to them, of excitement and you know, when you hear the best Baroque music, it almost reminds you of rock music today. And I hope that's, you know, the vibes that people receive from the fireworks.